Hi there, today I'm gonna reveal you my next building project. It's gonna be pretty awesome if it works. So, here I have my old gas tank, the propane tank holder that I had when I bought the boat. But the first thing I did, I got rid of that because I don't use any fossil fuels. But I've been wondering what to do with this, and in the winter time I tested the pellet burner wood gas stove in here. If I could use this as some kind of barbecue thing, which is probably not a good idea, but well, I'm gonna look into that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to make this to heat water for showering and that kind of stuff. So I already bent some copper tube in here, and the thing is, when I burn that in here, it gets really hot, and it's close to this plastic glass fiber thing, but in here it's pretty spacey, not that much, but it gets really hot, which is not a good thing. Well, open fire is never a good thing on a boat. But the thing is, I'm gonna try to insulate that with a rock wool thing that I got in here. Oh, I'm gonna show you later. I'm gonna insulate that so that the heat doesn't do any damage to stuff that is in this locker. And yeah, so the water tank is probably gonna be this big one, which is gonna be in here. And I got the water pump here. It's pretty small, but I think it's gonna be okay. I'm not sure. We're gonna test that. And I 3D printed some what do you call these, vents or something like that? Well, to make the water flow different directions, and this is for screwing to shut it down from here. And this is gonna be the nozzle for the shower head thing and terminal. And yeah, this is not good. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do another one of these, a little bit better, but these should be good enough for today to do the testing thing. The problems that I'm probably gonna have with this, or the challenges, is gonna be, oh, pretty windy. This is only, well, it says the maximum liquid temperature should be 60 Celsius. It's gonna be warm enough for the warm water that I need, but I hope the water doesn't get any hotter than that. Also, these 3D printed parts are not that heat resistant, so I have to make sure that the water doesn't get any hotter than 60 degrees Celsius. So yeah, first thing is gonna be insulating that. Next thing, setting the tubes for the motor, and then I'm gonna just use a bucket for the water tank thing. So I'm gonna be able to see the flow and see the temperature, and yeah, let's see what happens. And also, I forgot to mention that if this works, I could also use this as a cooling kind of a tank or something like that, because I realized the seawater in Finland is usually pretty cold until the like August or something. Now it's the middle of July. So when the seawater is cold, I could use that to circulate the seawater from the motor well without making any kind of a holes to the hull. You just drop the tubes in there and run the cold water inside, probably making it a little bit cooler than the outside temperature. And the insulation is also gonna help with the cooling thing, so that's another thing I could do. And there's the third thing that I could do with this. It would be really nice to have a freezer, so I could get, you know, ice cream on my boat. But that's gonna need a compressor thing to run the cooling liquid. Yeah, well, I need a compressor to make it cool enough. But this could also maybe someday act as a freezer. But yeah. And also I realized I got too short of tube of this copper tube. I'm gonna probably, if this works, I'm probably gonna get another 2 meters to cover the whole tank area over there. But yeah, let's get started with the insulation. So I got the rock wool over there, which should be unflammable, fireproof. And I'm gonna take some aluminum foil, wrap it around because it's in 2 pieces, so it makes 1 piece and the wool is not gonna be exposed to the outside. So yep, I got it in here. Now I'm just taping this side so that the aluminum foil won't rip if I have some stuff in here. Yeah, well, it seems pretty good. So yeah, it's now time for the first test, to test the motor and the water circulation now without the fire. So got the pump here. It goes to this divider thing that divides it. Well, now it goes to only there, because when I open this is my own design. It's just kind of like a pin or tap that screws to the hole that goes to here, so it blocks the water from going here. And that's when I get all the pressure to the shower head, which is now closed because this doesn't work now. I have to make a new one. But so when I open this, it should be now open. It might leak over here, I'm not sure. We can see it goes to here, and then it should come hot here and go back to the bucket. So this uses 12 volts, but for this test I'm gonna use just the battery from my screwdriver over there. So it's 10.8 volts, which is close enough. Should run easily with this. So let's see what happens. Ooh, it's exciting. I think it might need to get the water to the tube before it can suck it, so I'm gonna suck it a little bit and then try it again. Okay, so I sucked the water in here to the pump, and I can see there's the first leak is over here. I'm gonna seal those later. This is just for the tests. Let's see. It's coming back! Oh, there's a major leak over there. Okay, so I got the leaks pretty much sealed now. There might be a little bit drops, but it doesn't matter. It's just test. So now begins the fun part. Put some pellets over there, just a tiny amount, just like a half a handful and some flaming liquid. So let's start this. Okay, it's already burning. You can hear from the woof sound. It's not showing anything because it's you cannot see the flame from the liquid. So let's start to pump. I'm also gonna get my my thermometer. Thermometer, no, the device that detects the temperature. Let's see if I can use this to get the temperature from the water. So, the first test didn't work. I didn't get the temperature, like only 1 degree Celsius higher. So now just fired up this one. This time it was full, well, handful of pellets, so it should burn like 10 minutes or something. Well, did that last time. And I also lifted the coil a little bit higher, so I think it's gonna catch the heat a little bit better. So let's start the motor and see what happens. Well, yeah, it's been burning now almost 10 minutes. But the well, I'm gonna call it thermometer. Yeah, I think this sucks. I've never liked this one, even if I used it inside, because yeah, I can never tell the truth. I'm gonna throw that away, get a better one. But I can definitely feel it be warm now, the coming water, but it's still not warm the water, but it's warm when it comes here. I think that I have to do get more coil it up all the way down. I think then I can capture more of the heat, because it's warm now, definitely warm. And the flame went down, so it was about 10 minutes. Okay, so this was a good test, and I know that it would heat a lot faster if I had the coil directly over the flame, but because I think I want to use the bucket for cooling also at some point. That's why I want to make the coil that is permanent, because if I put it on the top I cannot use it for cooling, and because it has the hole and the little pipe going to the side of the boat because of the gas leak thing, because it was a gas tank container. At some point I want to buy some ice and put ice on it, and then have a champagne in it. By the way, this bottle, I bought it like almost 3 years ago. When I was gonna name the boat, this was going to be the bottle to be, well, not smashed, just touched like this and then opened and drank. So it would be cool to have a bucket full of ice and champagne on it. That's why I want to put the coil on the side. And it also, I think it dissipates the heat a lot from the sides because it was a lot hotter before I used the coil, because now I have the insulation also, so it means that the heat doesn't escape from the outside, it stays inside. And I was a little bit worried about it getting too hot and burning stuff on here. And there's also some kind of a rubber stuff in here to make it watertight, and I'm afraid that that's gonna burn if it gets too hot. But now it didn't get too hot. I think it's because of the coil. But that's for today. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go and buy like 3 meters more copper pipe. 3 meters at like 10 feet something, in case I edit this and do another video for tomorrow. It's gonna be bye bye. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.